So when I look back at my own life, there's one thing that I did when I was younger that's helped me more than anything else when it comes to building the person that I am today, in terms of being consistent, in terms of being able to get results in business, and really like all the success that I've had, even though I'm not the most successful person out there, but in terms of making my first 10K a month, in terms of getting to that point where I can like now start traveling, work from wherever I am, be able to make multiple six figures before I turn 22 years old. Pretty much all these things comes down to this one thing that I did when I was younger that's helped me build the consistency, the habits, and everything just comes back to this. And I think if you understand this, and if you can implement what I'm gonna tell you about in this video, you will see way more success. Success becomes inevitable if you can like implement this framework. Because the thing you need to understand is like success is really very simple. If you wanna make your first 10K a month online and get a bit of freedom for yourself, you really like the only thing that you really need is you just need to be able to be consistent. You just need to be able to pick something to get into and stick to that for long enough to see success. And it's the biggest thing that most people get wrong is they think that like most business models don't work. You know, they think that like specific business models, maybe drop shipping or TikTok shops work and some other don't work, you know? The thing is like everything works. Pretty much any business model that you do. And I used to think the same thing when I was younger, you know, I was doing SMA for like 2 years and I was like, okay, this stuff does not work, I need to change. The reality and the truth is like, this might trigger you as well, but like every business model out there works. It's just a matter of you need to be able to stick to that thing for long enough for you to see success with it. That's all it comes down to. And understanding this is going to help you see way more success because you understand that like the biggest thing that actually matters in business is you being able to be consistent with it. And there's this thing that I did when I was younger that helped me build that ability to be consistent, that ability to show up every single day and keep putting in the work even when I did not see any results. Because that's the thing you need to have in order for you to be able to succeed in anything, whether that's remote high-ticket sales, which is what I do, if you're doing like drop shipping, if you're doing TikTok shop, if you're doing content creation, personal brand, whatever you're trying to do, you know, whatever you're trying to do to make money online. There's better things, there's worse things, but regardless of what you're trying to do, you need to have ability to show up every single day without you seeing results. And I noticed that most people don't have that. Most people don't have that for shit, you know, because you're used to like, just scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on TikTok, and just like looking for dopamine all the time. You do something for a week, you try to start a business for like a month, it doesn't work out, you give up, and then you go back to your shitty old job, or you go back to just like studying or whatever, you know? That's how most people operate. And the way to break that cycle is to like teach yourself to be consistent, to teach yourself to stick to something for a long time without changing, without giving up, regardless of the results. And the best way I think to do that, that's helped me the most, has been through just like working out, training, fitness, sports. For me personally, when I was younger, I did swimming for a long time, probably like 8 years. You know, I swam like at a pretty high level. I swam like, probably had like 8 sessions every single week, 8 to 9 times. So we were training in the morning, and sometimes hit the gym midday and then also go work out and have another training session in the evening. So I will literally be working out around 4 to 5 hours per day sometimes. Usually on average around like 2 to 3 hours per day. Yes, like solid effort training during that time. And this built this ability for me to just like show up over a long period of time, where there was like training sessions where you literally like you were in the water, just constantly swimming for like 1.5 hours, like pushing your body, going harder, went home. I remember this, like I had this over and over again when I was actually like 15, 16, 17. I'll be like swimming for like 2-hour session, pushing myself to the absolute limit, go home, eat like a massive meal, go to sleep, and then literally like next day wake up at like 4:45 in the morning and going to have another like swimming session at 5:30 at the pool, you know? This was literally like my life when I was younger, you know, like just going swimming in the evenings, going to bed, trying to get like 6-7 hours of sleep, eating a huge amount of food, and then just doing the same thing the day after, and it's like rinse, repeat over and over again, and then I went to school in between. And during this time, obviously this was hard, you know, like I didn't really like enjoy this a lot, and like it was, there was a lot of fun with it, you know. I had a lot of fun with like friends and like pushing myself, beating my personal bests and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. But obviously it's like the act of just showing up every single day and grinding. It was not like something that I enjoyed all the time. But I think a big amount of my like the success, the relative success that I've seen so far, has been because of the fact that I did this, you know. Because most people that have never been consistent in the gym, never consistently like worked out or really like done anything consistent in their life, Getting into business is literally like their first time, probably your first time maybe if you're watching this, doing that, you know? The first time you're actually having to stick to something for a long time without seeing results. The first time you're forced to maybe like, just like hold yourself accountable and show up for yourself. If you've never done that before, it's very, very hard to like just hold promises to yourself and like stick to a plan for long enough to succeed. But that's also what it takes. Because like when I got into business, I didn't understand this. And I always started businesses and I expected things to be super easy. Because I had like a complete like false belief around business and entrepreneurship. So I started like SMA, I did drop shipping, I did trading, I did all these different things. I didn't succeed with it. And I just hopped from thing to thing to thing to thing, trying to look for like a better and like the simpler and the easier business to get into. And obviously I never found it because it's complete BS. The way that you succeed, the people that you see online that have succeeded, the fact that I've been able to make my first 10K a month now and scaling beyond that is because I stuck to one thing for long enough to get there. And obviously there's better things and worse things you can do. In my personal opinion, getting into something like that's simple and that's straightforward, like learning one skill instead of trying to start a business is better. That's what I personally did in terms of like learning remote high ticket sales and mastering one skill instead of trying to like learn sales, marketing, fulfillment at the same time. So it's definitely like things you can tweak, but regardless of what you do, you have to realize you have to pick one thing and stick to it. I see so many freaking people that, even people that reach out to me on Instagram, that people that want to join my coaching program, you know, and want to learn remote sales. Talk about, okay, I want to do remote sales. They get into it on their own, they try to figure it out, and they can't figure it out. Or they don't get results like in the first 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then they just convince themselves that they're not made out to do this. You know, they convince themselves that they should do some other business model. Like they're like, yeah, I'm an introvert, so I shouldn't do sales. I should do copywriting instead, you know, or I don't like being on calls, so I'm going to do this instead. And they're just jumping from thing to thing to thing and just convincing themselves of like BS reasons why it's not going to work out. And the issue with like acting that way is like you're always going to have reasons for why to change. You start getting into remote sales and looking into remote sales. Oh, I'm an introvert, so I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do something that's just behind a computer. I go into copywriting. Oh shit, I need to land multiple different clients. I need to take sales calls to land clients. And then you're like, shit, let's look for something else. Let's get into trading, you know? Trading, shit, you have to learn multiple different skills. It's hard, it's complex. You can lose money if you're not good at it. A lot of psychology, a lot of minds and stuff that's involved with it. Let's go over something else. You can literally stay in that cycle for the rest of your life until you learn that you just need to pick one thing, trust the process, and stick with that one thing for long enough to see success. That is literally the cheat code to success. Like that's all you need to do to win. But most people will never do that because you have your brain that's fucking you up. You know, that's stopping you or that's pushing you to change after you've been doing something for a week or a month or even a year. And I'm saying this with like more passion because like this was me before. I could not stick to anything because I didn't understand that the fact that like the only way you win is by doing something you can do for long enough. And the way to kind of hack the game here is pick an opportunity that you can keep doing for forever without losing money, without going broke. Because the issue with most business models that you guys probably pick right now is that you're basically just you're picking a business model that either you win big or you lose everything, you know? Maybe you're doing dropshipping, we have to invest money to run ads. You're doing trading, we have to like literally be losing out on your own money if you're not good at it, you know? If you pick models like that, it's very hard to do it for a long amount of time because if you're not good at it, if you're not like 10 out of 10 right away, which you're not going to be obviously, then you're going to be losing out on all your money very quickly and it's going to be like very hard to keep doing it for more than like a couple of months, you know? That's why I think by far the best thing you can do is focus on learning a skill, do something that has very little downside to it. That's why I picked learning remote sales because I was like, okay, I want to be able to travel, I want to be able to like leave my hometown, get out of my parents' house. What's the fastest, simplest way I can do this? Is by learning remote sales, humbling myself a bit, not having to be the business owner at like 21 years old or even 19 years old when I started. Taking a step back, focusing on learning a skill, becoming actually valuable to the marketplace and focusing on like getting good at something, you know? Instead of just like, okay, I'm gonna make 10K a month tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna get good at something and I'm gonna earn 10K a month by doing it. And that shift has changed the game for me. That's when I scaled to like 10K a month in my first literally 3 months of doing remote sales. And then set myself up for life now when I've learned a skill that makes me valuable to business owners. And you can do the exact same thing by just like focusing on learning skills, becoming valuable and sticking to one single plan for long enough for it to actually work out. Because you're never going to succeed if you just look for the next hot business model. Because the next hot business model is the one that you stick with for long enough in order for it to work. So I'll leave you guys with that quote. Hopefully you take some like actual action on the stuff I'm telling you, because again, like none of this stuff is valuable if you just like listen to this and like mentally like masturbate, you know, feel like good because you watched a video and you got some new information. Like you just need to take action on this stuff, you know. Stick to the plan. If you want to do remote sales, which is by far the fastest way to get 10K per month, click the link down below, join my inner circle, and I can help you out one-on-one, just like I've done with multiple other guys in terms of helping you learn the skill, land a remote sales role in literally the next 30 to 60 days. So if you want that type of help and really just like speed up the process with one-on-one coaching, mentorship, and like fast track your path to getting there, click the link and I'll help you out over there. Thanks for watching. Any questions, DM me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Ciao.